Hey, thank you, Spencer. Great afternoon for live music as we've got Jay Brown coming down the mountain from Black Mountain to Spindale. Welcome back, Jay.
It's great to be back, Joe.
We're anxious to find out more about your best of 3 disc set and all things going on in your musical world. First, could we get a tune?
Absolutely. Yeah. Here's a good one for me to warm up my one-man band on. It's called Soul to Soul. Don't have an enemy, not one enemy in all this earth. It's just the ones I love who ever hurt me. Angels have been sent to me, that's for sure. Only angels can shake my faith when they shout me down. Falling tears are warm when souls are intertwining. Steal away a pride, they're steely cold. No harm ever came from a little fighting, just as long as we're fighting soul to soul. Pain's been a friend to me, been a friend, at least it's stuck around. But when all the chips are down, it won't desert me. The sweeter the memory, the more the many tears come down. Only angels can know the souls that I long to hold. It's so warm to lay where souls are intertwining, but our fears can leave us cold as any pole. If love sailed the way we still could sail inside it, just as long as we're sailing soul to soul.
Jay Brown is live on WNCW this afternoon in Studio B. Sounding really good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks. Live Studio B sessions on WNCW are made possible by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. And we're sitting here with Brenda Craig taking photos and Sean Rubin, our engineer, and the one-man band, Jay Brown. Tell us about the niche appeal, the enduring niche appeal of the one-man band.
Well, let's see now. I think I must have got the idea from Jesse Fuller, San Francisco Bay Blues, the guy out of San Francisco. I've always been fortunate to play with my friends and great bands. And so then I would go off and do these solo gigs, and it's just me. And it's like once you've, had the pleasure of playing in bands, and then all of a sudden you find yourself alone, you miss the band. So I started thinking, well, maybe my feet are always moving, so maybe I could get some music out of them, when I'm playing my gigs. And so it was an evolution, and it took longer than you might expect to get to this, what you see before you hear, with a box and a board and a tambourine on it. It started off with just the board, which I found in the basement in a little cabin I was renting in Buttermilk Holler outside of Boone, North Carolina, in Trade, Tennessee, where I was living. There just happened to be this board laying around there, and I didn't think that it would be missed. And this has been 25 years or so.
And thankfully, it was tuned correctly when you picked it up.
Well, it's really aged. It's really aged well, and now it's got a little more warp to it, so it has a little more tonality. So I've been carrying around this board for like 25 years, and at a certain point, I was at a gig, and I happened to have a tambourine in my car, and I thought, I wonder what would happen if I put the tambourine on the board, and lo and behold, you could make a tambourine sound by doing that. And then I decided I'd try to put some taps on some old shoes, and I did that. And then started thinking, well, I get to these gigs, and it's kind of hard to find something good to sit on. Like sometimes the stool will be too high, or the chairs have arms, so maybe I should get a cajon to sit on. And then after that, I thought, well, maybe I could get some music out of that while I'm at it. So it took a few years for me to finally get around to this one-man band.
Yeah, it's a completely different feel than having a band.
Yes.
And you get, all of your busking practice when you're doing the one-man band show, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the more I do it, I feel like I'm in a band when I'm playing my gigs. Like I'll think, guitar's a little loose tonight, but the kick drum is on pretty good.
And you've got your harmonicas.
Yes, these are a lot of these are side L harmonicas. My buddy Rupert Oisler happens to be the one distributor in America, lives in Asheville, and sometimes plays with Lazy Birds. So these are great harmonicas, side L, session steel. And my brother made this box for me. Everyone wants to know what in the world is in this box because it looks like a little mandolin case he made out of wood. But he surprised me with that, and that's where I keep my harmonicas.
Very good, very good. We've been digging into the new Best of Jay Brown. Amazingly, there's almost 3 decades have gone by since you released your first record in '96, and on these discs, you've got the new and renewed disc, the band's disc, and the deep cuts disc. So start off with the new and renewed, and tell us what's going on there.
Sure. Well, I had the idea, I think, to do this best of. I think it started around the lockdown, the pandemic lockdown. I think a lot of people had some strange ideas during that time, and this was mine. And I thought, well, I won't be doing gigs, but it'd be nice to have sort of a consolidated collection, especially to play for my kids, and at gigs when people wanted to know which CD to get. Sometimes I didn't know what to tell them, so I thought maybe if I have one, I can do that. But then in the meantime, I was still writing songs, so I think I ended up with about 12 new songs that made it onto the album. And then, there are a lot of recordings that I liked, but maybe I didn't like one thing about them, like from the old records. I wish I had changed a word here or there, or maybe I wish I could have resung some of them. So my dad, who runs a recording studio down in Birmingham, Higher Ground Studio, with some sort of science that I have no idea how he does it, he was able to go back and take those recordings, and he could take out my vocals, even if I hadn't recorded the vocals separately, which a lot of times everything was recorded together. But through the wonders of whatever he does.
Sounds like STEM or something.
Yes, sure. I'll take your word
like
for it.
Where you can single out
yes.
elements in a song.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So I could go back and re-record the vocals and then add things, like I was able to add a Hansavina to Dr. Sethi, which was a recording that I did about 12 years ago. And so it was interesting to like be jamming with my younger self, you know.
That's great. That's great. And then the bands, there's so many. We could talk for an hour just about the bands and the makeup of the players in all these bands, but a number of them are still going concerns.
Lazy Birds definitely still out there playing. Appalachians we're just about done with our second album. It's been a slow process, but slow and steady. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.